Now, because the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC Isle of Armor is out, I figured it's time I do an explain video on the new character, that character being Mustard. Mainly because of how interesting he is. And the main reason for that has to do with the fact that he was once a champion 50 years before the events of the main game. In fact, before becoming champion, he was actually the former fighting-type gym leader. And he became the league champion after defeating the fairy-type gym leader known as Opal. And he was actually undefeated for about 18 years, even being regarded as the strongest champion in Galar's history. However, he wound up losing his partner Pokemon, and as a result of this, he started to lose more often. However, despite that, he still remained popular. But he decided to retire after the champion chairman at that time asked him to win a rigged match. So after retiring, he decided to travel around the world. And eventually, he bought an island off the coast of Galar, and he even named it the Isle of Armor. And then he set up a dojo to teach people about Pokemon battles, and one of his students was Leon, the future champion of the Galar region. However, despite becoming champion himself, he couldn't complete any of Mustard's lessons, and this is mainly due to him getting lost on the Isle of Armor. Now, prior to the events of the Isle of Armor, Mustard met a woman by the name of Honey, who was the CEO of a trading firm, and eventually they married shortly after, and later on they had a son by the name of Hyde. Now, Honey herself works at the dojo as the matrion, mainly taking care of the cooking, cleaning, and advertising, as well as the finances. Now, she wasn't a trainer initially, but she wound up becoming one after spending a lot of time with Mustard, and quickly developed a talent for battling. There's even a rumor among the dojo students that she might be even as strong as Mustard himself. She's even gained physical strength thanks to taking care of the powerful Pokemon at the dojo. Now, upon learning about his backstory, in a way, his backstory kind of reminded me of another character from the Pokemon series. That character being Alder from Pokemon Black and White, because like Mustard, he is also a champion, and after the events of Black and White, he retires. And unfortunately, like Mustard, he also lost a partner Pokemon, that being his starter Pokemon Larvesta. And like Mustard, he wound up being devastated, and as a result, he wound up traveling around the world aimlessly, and gaining a new outlook on life. And about 2 years after helping the main character defeat Team Plasma and stopping their plans for world domination, he wound up retiring back to his hometown, living with his grandson Banga. Now, another thing that interests me about Mustard has to do with the fact that he acquired 2 Cub Foo and wound up learning the Pokemon's secrets. And this is mainly because no other champion or former champion has ever even owned a legendary Pokemon. Now, it isn't really outright stated how Mustard even obtained Cub Foo. However, what we do know is that Cub Foo are not from the Galar region, which pretty much means that Mustard may have acquired these 2 Cub Foo during his travels. However, no one really knows where Cub Foo is from, but there might be a possibility that Cub Foo may be from the Sinnoh region. And this is mainly due to the fact that there are some Easter eggs relating to the Sinnoh region. One of them being that you gotta get Honey for its evolution Urshifu in order for it to Gigantamax. And the main reason why it could be a possible hint at a Sinnoh remake has to do with the fact that in the Sinnoh games, in order to catch certain bug Pokemon, you had to place honey on trees to attract them. And the honey that you're trying to give to Urshifu is guarded by Vespiquen, a Pokemon from the Sinnoh region. Now, there is a possibility that Mustard may have gone to the Sinnoh region, and during his travels throughout the region, he may have found the Cub Foo, possibly by exploring a section of Mount Coronet that may have never been seen before. And he could have discovered Cub Foo there and possibly even found the 2 scrolls that Cub Foo has to learn in order to evolve into one of its forms for Urshifu. And the main reason why I say he may have found Cub Foo in the Sinnoh region has to do with the fact that it's stated that Cub Foo is from the mountains far away from the Galar region. Not to mention its design, moveset, and name have a more Asian feel to it. And there are only 4 regions that are based on Asian countries, that being Johto, Kanto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh. And out of those 4 regions, the only one that has a mountain that's tied to legendary is Sinnoh. Now, towards the end of the main story, after you have a final battle with Mustard, he says something particularly interesting. He hopes that you'll have more battles with him so that you and him can be stronger, so that you'll be ready for when the time comes. Now, no one really knows what he wants you to be ready for, but I do have some possible theories as to what he might be referring to. It could possibly be a hint at the Crown Tundra, which could possibly mean that Mustard might have a pivotal role within the Crown Tundra storyline. Or it could even be a hint at the next game in the series, or even the possible Sinnoh remakes, but hey, only time will tell.